I'm going to make this video as quick as I can because this is something that I want to address because I have searched the forums for hours. This has got to be something that I've researched the most, I think, of any topic I've worked on my 4Runner. But I'm just going to lay out all of the seals here that I have bought or tried to compare to see if I'm doing what I'm doing correctly. So we've got all of these different types of seals. Some of these are old, some of these are new, some I have cleaned, some I have taken off of my vehicle. So these are all of the seals so far. All right, before I talk about these seals directly, I want to take you down a little story here. So these 4Runners have been made from 2010 until 2024. So that's the 5th gen 4Runner years. However, there's a lot of parts on these 4Runners that have been borrowed even back since the 3rd gen and some of the early Tacomas and Tundras. So sometimes finding part numbers can be a little bit convoluted, but ideally they should all be broken down in drawings like this that they have at the dealership. So I go into the dealership and I've been asking questions, and I've seen this drawing a number of places already on the forums. And I had to verify a couple of things, but I think I've got my story right at least. So back in the day, before the current situation, you could buy 2 seals that were on this side of the hub. So one piece sticks into the hub, which down here, that's going to be on this piece. I'll show you in a little bit. And then another seal goes on the CV axle. And so back in the day, the hub side seal was called these 2 numbers here. So 90316-72001. That was the old number for the seal that stuck into the hub. And then there was a seal that would stick onto the CV axle, the outer side of that CV axle. And that was the 90316A0001. That was how it was originally set up. Okay, fast forward a little while. Who knows when this changed? But now these numbers don't exist in their catalog and they can't find them. And now if you want to buy the hub side, which is the seal that plugs into your hub, the part number is now 90316A0001. And this is a part number that I have ordered, and that is what I have right here. So I thought ordering this seal was going to solve my problem because I was looking for the seals I needed between the CV axle and the 4Runner hub. And I was like, oh, from this drawing, maybe it's just one. I guess I'll order the one seal. So I did. But that one seal, the 90316A0001, is only for the interior side of the hub. It doesn't address the CV axle. As an aside, before we figure out where that CV axle seal went, I want to mention something. If you just look up these parts, a lot of Timken and Koyo and these National Oil seals, these are the parts that Toyota slaps their label on. So sometimes you can buy these parts directly from the manufacturer as opposed to through Toyota. And so this one here, this is the seal that I have actually bought from Toyota. But I was able to find this part number, and looking at these side by side, they look borderline, if not identical. So we hold them next to each other. I'll hold them back to back here like this as well. They look identical to me, if you ask me. And then if you look on the top down here, you can kind of see they've got that inner lip and everything. So this was mine, and it got pretty dirty, and so I cleaned it all up, and I'm going to re-lube it. And I have this stuff called silicone lubricating grease, and this should hopefully be good stuff for using on these gaskets and rubber seals. Okay, so all this to say, if you want to buy that 90316A0001 seal, and you don't have time to wait for the dealer, don't want to pay dealer prices, don't want to wait for online discounted dealer, yada, 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 I think you can order this National Oil seal, and here's the part number, 710573. So that is the seal, and I bought these, but I think I'm going to just end up returning them because I was able to clean these seals up really well, but I wanted to show that side by side. So there you go. We'll see. Maybe I'll save these as a backup. Okay, so that's those seals. Now, fast forward, I keep looking around for this seal. So this is the old seal I had. I'm now gonna zoom out a little bit. So to catch you up, the back side of this hub takes this seal. It's gonna stick in there. And then this seal, I didn't even realize, but it was sitting right on here this whole time. And I was thinking that that was just a part of this boot or casing or whatever, but it's not. And my Dirt King long travel axles did not come with this seal. And the problem is when I went to the dealer, and after reading lots of reviews, this part number for the CV axle comes with that seal, and they don't sell it separately. And they make it extremely hard to find that part number. So then what I did is I started talking to the dealer, and I said, well, pull up all of your CV axle drawings. And they did. And basically all of them came back negative, except for this particular drawing, which I have, and it's of a Tacoma. And if you look closer at this, we've got the side that goes into the differential, and then we have the side that goes towards the spindle. So this 43501K or 43502K is one of the seals that I thought is what we needed. So then fast forward, I had them order two different part numbers, which is this 9008 30028, and then this other one, this 90304 83002. And to fast forward even more, I'm pretty convinced that is the part number, that lower one where it says 4984. So unfortunately, that is the cost per seal. So to buy two of these seals, that's how much it costs. And I believe that that seal was registered under either the LX470 or the Tacoma or the Tundra. It was not listed under the 4Runner. And so if you put in your VIN, it'll come back negative. So then what I did is I went and I ordered these seals online. I tried to find them as cheap as I could, and I think the best I could find was like $25. And this is the only place I was able to find this particular seal. So here's that part number, and here is the old seal. And I've opened up one of them and I have it sitting right here. And putting these two seals side by side, they look pretty dang close. The only problem is to get these old seals off of my CV axle, I kind of had to mangle them a little bit. So what I notice is on this side, this rubber sticks out farther than on this side. But if you look on the interior of this seal, I had to pry it to get it open. And so that could be why that interior is kind of just ever so slightly, because as you take your flathead and you push out, you know, you come in and you push out like this on the interior portion, maybe that could have this rubber just slightly protrude. But when you look at it from the back side, they're both flat. Their diameter, when you look down the middle of them, looks to be about exactly on. And I haven't tested out the fitment because I don't want these to be hard to pull off of this axle. But if we slide it over with some pounding, I can definitely get that to seat on there. So all this to say, I think I have found a seal that will work. And I never found a definitive answer for this on the forums. So if you're clicking around Google and you're trying to find this, hopefully that helped you out. It's 2025. Who knows if this part number will go away or if this approach won't work, but at least for the meantime, hopefully that's a way to go about this. One thing I've also heard is installing these seals can be kind of difficult. And I'm a little bummed because I basically threw away my old seals. But a lot of guys will put their old seal on there and use it to install it and then pull it off. And I did not do that, so that is unfortunate. But we'll figure out a way to get these on the CV axles. And maybe I can use these old seals. I don't think so. But we'll figure out a method for doing this. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Hopefully this helped you, and I'll catch you in the next video.